Rondo, the freshman running the show. Azubuike to the hole, and he's got two. Kentucky with the lead, and we remind those of you expecting to see action in other parts of the country, we'll get you out to your games of interest shortly. Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Alabama coming up next from Cleveland.
This Eastern Kentucky team runs a variety of different set plays. They've got over 50 plays in their playbook, and they run them very well, though they've shortened that to about 6 or 7 that they'll use primarily for this game.
Again, Witt, good distance from the basket with 10 on the shot clock. The left-hander fires the three. Sparks. Patrick Sparks, born on St. Patrick's Day 22 years ago. Where's number 22? Appropriately on this day, Patrick in action. Underneath is Rondo, and the first foul against Eastern Kentucky.
Craig Gumbel in New York will keep track of the Colonels and the Wildcats for you, but those of you slated to see Wisconsin Milwaukee take on the Crimson Tide of Alabama, it's game time out in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's send you there live and join Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarkel.
Greg, thank you very much. Good first-round matchup here in Cleveland. Wisconsin-Milwaukee, the Panthers seeded number 12, taking on the number 5 seed, Alabama Crimson Tide.
We're prepared. We worked all year long to put ourselves in this position. Together, let's get this sucker. Bring me here.
Motivational speech from Bruce Pearl, head coach of the Panthers, now in his 4th year with UWM. His 2nd trip to the tournament as a head coach. And let's take a look at the starting 5 for the Panthers. Tucker and Tigert, the forwards, McCants, Davis, and Hill in the 3-guard set for the champions of the Horizon League. And for Alabama, Mark Gottfried led the Crimson Tide into the Elite Eight last year, losing to eventual champion UConn. Gottfried's starting 5 looks like this. Up front, Davis, Winston, and Davidson, with Ernest Shelton and the freshman Ronald Steele in the backcourt for Alabama. And the action today brought to you in HD TV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television. Number 5 against number 12 in the Chicago bracket. Mike Sanzier, Mike Thibodeau, and Robert Stafford, the officiating crew. Jimmy, a couple of things to look for in this one.
I would look at starting off quickly with Alabama. I think one of the things you have to be concerned with, the last 3 games they've played, they've gotten off to real slow starts in terms of the first half in particular. Now, on the flip side, the Panthers with Milwaukee, they'll come at them in full court press. So how well Alabama handles that press, executes coming down the floor, especially with Steele, a young player in a big situation for him in the NCAA tournament. His decisions initially are going to be very important to get Alabama off to a good start.
Alabama coming off its best NCAA tournament run in school history in 2004. A number 8 seed last year, sneaking up on no one this year. And we're underway from Cleveland as Milwaukee controls the tip. That 3-guard set led by the quick and fearless Chris Hill, the junior. From the outside, McCants comes up short. Run out. Ernest Shelton driving to the rim and lays it in for Alabama.
Well, there's the quickness of the Panthers with their shot at one end. No balance to begin the basketball game. And Shelton, the guy who can get up and down the floor, likes to get started early, and a nice easy layup for him to get things going down early for Bama.
He bruised his thigh in the SEC tournament. Seemed to be okay, though, on that leak out.
He looked fine. Cheated a little quickly, too, to get down the floor in a hurry.
They rely so heavily on their perimeter game, the Panthers, and here is Tucker off the drive, and it's rebounded inside by Davis.
Against that taller front line, they have to close on those shots.
And a touch foul on the perimeter as Shelton made his move on McCants, the player of the year in the Horizon League. McCants comes in averaging just under 17.5 points per game. Scorer's mentality, outstanding athlete, and will have to have a big effort if the Panthers are to pull off the upset.
And generally speaking, though, I think in this first 3 or 4 minutes, the Panthers have to be under control more than anything, Ian. It's just one of those things. You get out there, you're playing against a team from a power conference like Alabama. Settle down a little bit, even though it's difficult to do early in basketball games.
Back in off the double team. Davis, dish out. 2-man game with Shelton.
Nice work by Hill defensively out front at the point.
And Davidson had it come off his body, out of bounds, off the foot. And Milwaukee takes over. Alabama with a 2-0 lead. Panthers with wins this season over St. Louis, Purdue, Manhattan, out of conference. Lost to Kansas 73-62, a game they hung around it. And the jump shot goes for Chris Hill out of Chicago, Illinois.
And the make allows them to come up full court. They'll try to continue to press, so handling the ball very important. Especially as I touched on with Steele, they do a good job that time releasing it to Winston, who's going to be a factor also. Winston is a guy who can play the point for them and handle the ball a lot.
First three-pointer of the day. Hill shoots it at 38%. And Milwaukee has its first lead. Here's Winston. First team, all SEC. Shelton, he can stroke it. He missed it from long range. Knocked away as Tucker tried to handle it. Out of bounds. Alabama will retain it.
And Davidson a factor there too. Ian just hanging around a good spot, looking for offensive opportunities on the glass.
Now the season summary for Milwaukee. Hot team. They've won 17 of their last 18, including a 9-game winning streak heading into the tournament. Bo Davis was trying to stick along the wing and got caught with the tight defense.
So that's one of the MOs for the Panthers. They like to play physical basketball. They like to bang. They like to wear people down because they've had success in the last 5 or 7 minutes of basketball games. So their theory is to really get up. Again, Davis going after defensively.
Shelton, the senior from Memphis, Tennessee. And here is Winston looking to break down the defense. He does with a left-handed throwdown.
And a terrific recognition just then by Winston on the left side of the floor because there was a little moving screen. It's set at the last second. Little confusion defensively, how to play that by the Panthers, and a great reaction by Winston to finish off that play.
What a consistent scorer he has been this season for Mark Godfrey, just under 18 points per game. Davis pops and connects for the triple.
With Winston right in his face also, so it's that early confidence. Looking for shots to go up. Little deflection right now. The press once again after the makes. It's an initial turnaround. Pick up.
Davis is a playmaker. He was actually playing point guard early in the season until Pearl made the switch and shifted him to 2-guard. A 6-4 lead for Milwaukee. There is Chuck Davis, much improved this season in his junior year from Selma, Alabama.
See if they get the ball to Shelton on the blocks as his first half progresses. He's being guarded by a smaller Hill.
Winston, tight defense. McCants knocked it away, and the Panthers have it.
Davis looking to push the basketball. Good heady play right there. Nothing up ahead. They will look to push the basketball and keep pressure on you with it at the offensive end.
Ed McCants out of Marion, Ohio. Flip it over to Tucker, and the three doesn't go.
They're not afraid to shoot the three, are they?
Steele, the no look. And Kennedy Winston filling the lane.
Once again, that failure to react with a guy like Winston who can find the basket very easily, can slice through the middle of the floor. We've seen him go on the left side also.
And we're tied at 6. Hill frees himself and hits the three. Chris Hill, his second tray of the day.
A little simple play there. High. Here comes Winston again through the lane.
With the left hand. Oh, look how crafty going to the hole. Kennedy Winston has been the offense so far for Alabama.
And the ability to just slice through the middle of the floor. First of all, it's kind of a clear path to the lane, which is going to really make you think, hey, where are the defenders? They're not finding him. They're not quick enough to react. An adjustment has to be made by the Panthers right there to stop this guy at the free throw line, but more importantly, find guys in the open floor coming at them.
Davis called on his second personal foul as Winston completes the three-point play, and Boo Davis sits for Milwaukee. Hill pushes it up the floor. McCants off the mark. Tiger trying to catch up to it. He does in a reset.
Nice job by Tiger just then. That wasn't really a rebound. That was running after the ball to get the loose one.
Mark Pankratz in the game for the first time for the Panthers.
2-3 look right now for Bama to really kind of push the ball even further out on the floor if they can. See how the Panthers execute. There's Tiger.
Good cut. And Tiger with the finish.
Opening in the middle of the floor is such a basic in basketball. A 2-3 zone. Look to the free throw line initially, and then your slice cut.
James Wright in there, and Tiger able to get a piece of it.
Nice job defensively. Got a rebound on the loose ball, and they go for the three long range.
Open look. Bottom for McCants.
Nice understanding of what's going on so far. They're really spreading the court. Offensively, they want to really test Bama, make them come out and find the shooters. And right now, Bama's having some problem handling the press. It's going to stay their way. But two things are happening here, Ian. One is they're having a hard time finding the shooters. The other thing, working against the press.
Strong start for Bruce Pearl and company in Cleveland.
Sure beats watching the game on your TV.
You never seen my TV?
Don't have to. I can tell what kind of TV you have just by looking at that cell phone of yours. You have a 13-inch TV that you got free with your mattress 5 years ago.
The dishwasher.
Only Singular has exclusive deals on the very latest technology, like the ultra-thin razor.
And I can tell from your phone that, oh man.
The new Singular, raising the bar.
The fans sitting here, and here, and here, switched to Allstate car insurance last year. They saved an average of $338 a year. Are you in good hands?
You can't ignore Friday's new sizzling chicken and shrimp. It's just one of our 6 sizzling platters. Everyone could use more Fridays.
A wash and a wax used to take a lot out of you. But with the new Armor All Gel system, you can wash without a bucket and wax while you dry. Every time. The Armor All Gel system, the simple way to get a wax with every wash.
Entirely new 300 horsepower GS. The next phenomenon from Lexus.
Longhorns, Orangemen, Huskies, Wildcats, Bulldogs, Eagles.
Catch the madness tonight on The Late Show. CBS Sports Line. We've got the tournament covered.
Milwaukee off to a good start, up 5, and most times we think of them shooting the 3, but look at the reaction right here with Tiger coming down the middle of the floor. There was a reaction to a 2-3 switch. Alabama went to the 2-3 for the first time down the floor. Instead of firing from long range, what do? They settle down the Panthers. They look to the middle of the floor, and they get a layup. Nice inside, outside. Really very patient on the offensive end.
Yeah, Jimmy, Bruce Pearl told us yesterday that the closer that they get to the rim, the better they make Alabama defensively. So the theme throughout will be the three-point shooting, but they've got to keep them honest at times.
Well, what happens, and we've seen it already, Ian, they're starting to drag them out to the perimeter, and that's when the floor opens up and becomes much, much wider, relatively speaking, in terms of defensively, because then you have to cover more ground.
7 straight points from Winston for Alabama.
Look at the collapse. And guys with black shirts, they're looking to go all over the post. Great defensive effort.
Off the double team on Davis, they cough it up. Here's Hill on a stop and go. And Milwaukee with a 14-9 lead. Kick it to the outside. McCants will fire and hits the 3.
Now there's the point in case right there. They're bringing the Bama defensive guys way out on the floor. After every make, they look to press. Here comes some numbers down the other way with Davison running. But great defensive transition just then by the Panthers to get back into position.
Jason McCoy, the transfer from Rutgers, now in there for the Panthers. We see him for the first time. Lanky, 6'9", 190-pound junior. Settle into the half court for Alabama. 17-9. Milwaukee.
I'll tell you, Bruce Pearl also said defensively we like to wear people out and play physical. This is pretty physical.
Winston's jumper can't stop the 8-0 run. Davidson's got the height advantage. Shelton, a 3. And off the rim.
These little guys, and I say that in a complimentary way, they are really working defensively, the Panthers, against the tall Alabama front line to get great position to get the defensive clears.
There's McCoy, had a notion, now puts it on the floor. Good duck through, and he's fouled. Jason McCoy going to the hoop. Now the coaching foul on Bruce Pearl. He is the longtime assistant to Dr. Tom Davis, a disciple of Davis at Iowa, Stanford, native of Boston. Actually graduated from Boston College back in 1982. And has really done wonders with this Panthers program.
Yeah, and he said about Dr. Davis, a great teacher, a guy from a basketball perspective, had a terrific system, and he's taken a lot of the principles of that system. And by that, he just basically means they like to press, they like to be physical, they like to play hard. And really, he wants other teams, the competitors that he plays against, the opponents, walking away saying, hey, these guys played hard. We may not have beaten them, but boy, they played hard and physical. And right now, if this game ended right here, and you ask the Alabama players, do they think this was a physical first 7 minutes or so? I think the answer would be an emphatic yes.
Well, if anything, also, the philosophy is we'll wear you out.
Oh, yeah. And this is part of it. Look at this again. I had full court after every make, whether it's a made free throw or not.
And this is not something that Alabama sees a great deal. Talking to Mark Gottfried, as McCants picks up the personal, he said Auburn has some similarities, but you can't call it a clean comparison between the two styles of play. And McCants has picked up his second foul. He's going to have to sit. So Ed McCants, leading scorer for this Panthers team, and those long-range abilities that have already been on display, is now on the bench. He's replaced by little Allen Hansen. There's a crossover. Evan Brock checks in for the first time. Penetration. Shelton.
With a step maybe in 3 seconds also. Could have gone either way. A little hesitation. Once again, pretty good defensive effort, tightening in.
CBS Sports Line puts you on the court for this year's men's NCAA tournament. Get up-to-the-minute scoring and streaming video highlights for every first-round game. Just go to CBSSportsLine.com. So Hansen, the freshman, now seeing some time on the floor. He's the lefty. And Boo Davis back in there for the Panthers.
Little flex offense right here. By that, it means a lot of cuts from the weak side corners.
There's Wright. Had it knocked away, out of bounds. And the Panthers will retain it.
Davis that time showing his length at the defensive end right there. The long arms, good reaction defensively, but just stepped on the line.
Two more substitutions. Tigert back in, and Derek Ford, the junior, will come in for the first time for Milwaukee. So you see a lot of mixing and matching from Bruce Pearl.
Play-by-play guys like that, don't they? A lot of guys in and out all afternoon.
There's Tigert. Long jump shot. Adrian Tigert from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Not the jump shot, but his hometown.
It could have been. It was nearing that direction. Alabama just really having difficulty trying to get inside. Because you'll notice the black shirts just start creeping to the middle of the floor. Look at them.
Shelton pull up, and he's found his stroke.
And they're going to be forced, Alabama, right now to shoot that basketball from the 15-foot range and beyond.
Off a made basket, Wisconsin, Milwaukee comes down in a hurry, and Derek Ford hits the fadeaway.
See, this up-tempo style, in my opinion, is a great way to start, especially if you're an underdog. To come out, play up-tempo, it's kind of like carefree, intense, freestyle basketball. And if you're hitting your shots, oh boy, there's going to be some problems.
John Felix now in there for Alabama, junior college transfer.
See how far out they're riding the big guys with Bama? They're just not getting it 4 or 5 feet and under.
Felix rimming out on a three. Davis able to save in the corner. And Shelton had it poked away. Saved by Steele, penetration. Nice look. Oh, that's a poised move by the freshman Ronald Steele.
Boy, did he ever bring Ford out from underneath the basket that time? One of the few times the Panthers have released. Good cut along the baseline.
Early offense. Tucker, Baker, no. And it's rebounded by Steele. All-rookie team in the SEC, averaged 34 minutes per game as a freshman from Birmingham. And a travel on Felix. We'll step aside. 11:18 to play. First half. You can already tell the Panthers aren't shy from the outside.
Good. Are you ready? Wow! Go! Wow! Are you ready? I can't do this. Go! No way! Not even for some Bud Light?
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
See you, dude! Wait!
It's all here.
New from Dulco, it's the Suck Up. He never sweats because he doesn't take risks at work.
Hey, Suck Up,
Knock, knock.
Good one, sir.
That's not the joke, suck-up.
All right.
The suck-up comes with detachable puckered lips and realistic head nodding action. Also available, the Wuss and Mama's Boy.
Some men never take risks. For men who do take risks, there's New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down.
Some families are good at entertaining themselves. For the rest of us, there's Radio Shack, where you can get great deals on wireless phones. Now buy any Verizon wireless phone and get up to 3 Samsung color screen phones free with 2-year agreement on each. Plus, get this replica race hood free by mail. Yes, Radio Shack has everything to make your road trip more fun. Unless you like yodeling. Radio Shack, you've got
Some, recovery is a long road. For men, they reach for revitalizing lotion Q10 because Q10 replenishes skin to feel healthy, firm, and fit, especially when you don't. Nivea for men, more evolved skincare.
Class of '94, here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
In addition to America's greatest sports, TV's biggest hits are here on CBS. From the #1 drama CSI to the #1 comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, more people are watching CBS than any other network. 24-13, you would figure it's been all good news for the Panthers, but not the case. Some early foul trouble for 2 of their star players, Drew Davis, Ed McCant, 2 fouls apiece, something we'll keep an eye on here for the rest of the first half.
Absolutely must keep an eye on that, but the other part of that is that they do play a lot of players. They have gotten experience throughout the course of this season, and the way they run their sets, especially this offense, the flex, a lot of guys can touch the ball and get cuts going to the hoop.
And McCant is back in there on the offensive end for the Panthers. Penetration. Hansen had it knocked away, and Alabama comes away with it. Here's a steal. Little bump from Hansen, no call.
Let's see who McCants is guarding. Felix, it looks like. Got to get him the ball. Here he has it. And notice also the way that Bama guys are being fronted in the post. Not something they're really comfortable seeing defensively. They're usually in the SEC. Most times they play behind the post guy.
There is Felix, a 3. No. Fighting for it. Good rebound by James Wright, the senior from Milwaukee. Now this Alabama team, same starting 5 for every game they played this season. Tiger brings in Adrian Tiger to hit the game-winning free throw to send the Panthers into the NCAA tournament. A 1-point win over Detroit in the Horizon League Championship.
He shoots the ball for about 37% from the long range, so obviously a shot he can knock down. Bruce Pearl calls him the glue of this team.
Quick find. Davidson on the slam off the feed from Winston.
Once again, Winston getting some mileage out of the dribble. May have to do a little bit more of that because what's happening with the fronting of the post, if he can break his guy down, then you have that little 2-on-1 half-court set going towards the basket.
Winston rolled his ankle on Monday, but doesn't seem to be having any problems going to the rim. McCant's open look. It's a 3.
Now, once again, great screens. The screens are so important. And this is where McCants really gave up the basketball. McCants has to be very careful at the defensive end.
Milwaukee has made its last 5 attempts from 3-point range. They're now 8 of 11 from downtown. Felix able to get it back out of bounds. Alabama turnover.
Well, the long ball is dropping. Tiger from deep range there on the right side of the floor. You see that screen right here. Great screen up front. Next thing you know, McCants shooting the ball wide open again. They are really bringing the defenders, the Bama team, out deep on the floor. Watch for some backdoor cuts and watch for some cuts towards the basket. Now, after defensively, you start to recognize that coming out.
And McCants, wow, good upstairs. Derek Ford, and he lays it in.
I was going to leave just then, and I thought McCants was taking a turnaround jumper, and it was a turnaround pass. Great execution.
Milwaukee gaining confidence in the first half.
Look at this place. What do these guys have that we don't have?
Well, they do have the rotary-powered Mazda RX-8, the Tribute, Mazda 3, 2005 Automobile Magazine All-Star, and the thing no one else has, Zoom, Zoom.
Okay, we got it.
It's the Mazda's on the Move sales event. For a limited time, lease the Mazda 3i 4-door for just $179 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at lease signing.
Call you back.
Hurry, offers end March 31st.
Cholesterol. It comes buttered, battered, basted, and roasted. But it also comes from Mom, Dad, Grandma Rose, and Grandpa Joe. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the two sources of cholesterol, food and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin lowers bad cholesterol 45 to 60%. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Continue to follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the two sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
Make more of your money work for you. Consider a fund targeted to your retirement year. For more information and to open a no-fee Roth IRA, call 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
Look at the game summary. This game was tied at 9, but a 23-6 run by Milwaukee, able to put them in front by a sizable margin, 32-15. What does Alabama have to do here to change the pace of this game, Jim?
Well, what they need to do is recognize the defense. And once again, here's a switch, a 1-2-2 look right now. And they're going to come out and find the shooters. But initially, they're going to seal real deep. So you have to penetrate a little bit and look.
Winston, a three. That helps.
Good job. Steele recognized that very nicely. Against the zone, you can put the ball on the floor and get good mileage out of it. But you must do it with the sharp move to the basket.
Hill is back in there for Milwaukee, and that pass was knocked away as Ford tried to get it inside. Off the turnover. Shelton looking to split defenders. He was fouled on the floor. No shot. As he took it to the rim. Personal foul on Tiger. That'll be his first. We talked to Mark Godfrey yesterday. He said the players from last year's team are hungry. They tasted it a bit with that extended run in the NCAA tournament last year. Here's Davis inside. He got hacked hard. And Davis will shoot a pair.
Well, and they come out, though, you're right, with Godfrey. It was mentioned that experience will help them, but this little blitz really caught them off guard, I think, with the way the Panthers shot the basketball from such deep range and how quick they were taking the shot that I thought was interesting. I thought they'd run the clock down a little bit, the shot clock down, and force Bama to defend them a little bit more with that theory of wearing people down. Don't forget, though, Bama's been around a while this year. They've played some tough basketball games. They're not going to disappear, especially in the first half.
McCoy and Wright will check in, and Ford and Tiger will head to the bench. It's just a reminder of how tenuous this NCAA tournament can be, how that fine line between winning and losing. Alabama needed a last-second shot from Antoine Petway, their senior point guard last year, to beat Southern Illinois in the first round. They were a number 8 seed in a tight 8-9 matchup that went back and forth late, and then went on the long run, knocking off Stanford in an upset, beating Syracuse, and losing to UConn 87-71 in the regional final.
2-3 zone again by Alabama right now.
Here's Hill looking to penetrate. Tucker with 12 to shoot.
Usually they go deeper and deeper on the floor. That's been the MO with about 8 seconds left to shoot right now.
Down to 5 on the timer. Hill has to make it happen. Gives it up. McCoy has to shoot it. And missed it badly off the backboard. It's a shot clock violation. By far the best half-court defense we've seen from Alabama so far. Right now, Bruce Pearl's team up 12.
Multifunctional element from Honda. Where will it take you?
Excuse me, you're still with your old brokerage firm?
I know, but I like being able to talk to somebody when I have a question.
Look, I don't want to be out there in cyberspace all by myself.
We moved our money to a TD Waterhouse online account. Their people really make us feel connected.
TD Waterhouse has investment consultants you can talk to when you have a question, so you're not out there all on your own. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill Lynch and Smith Barney.
Watch that. I got him. I see him. Whoa! Give me the ball, Pops. Come get it. I think that's a challenge. Are you serious? I won't even put my bag down. Come on, man. Bro, let that man shoot. You got nothing. You don't got nothing. Your mouth looks dry. Have a Coke. Daddy hung on you. You know what that is? That's the room time, son.
As you can see, folks, the winds right now are really gusting. We haven't seen anybody out here on the streets downtown. It's all but deserted. The roads are beginning to flood. Reports of bottlenecks are coming in from all over. Games have been canceled. Now, based on the data we're gathering back at the studio, all indications are this storm is headed for the record books. So again, stay inside. I gotta tell you, folks, I don't know if we're gonna need to start collecting 2 of every animal, but we'll keep...
What makes CSI TV's most watched drama? 110 million viewers and counting.
I'm not sure if it's hinky or kinky.
That's the job.
Yeah, that's the job.
Craig Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis in New York. We'll get you back to UW, Milwaukee, and Alabama in just a moment. Let's first check in on Boise, Idaho, where the Pitt Panthers are taking on Pacific. And we've had an injury on the court at 13:25 to play. Christian Meriker of the Tigers took a tumble, and right now it's a 9-8 Pacific lead.
Both of these teams like to play very physically. They're efficient at the offensive end, but they're thump and bump type teams inside. I like Pittsburgh because of Troutman and Taft inside and the play of Carl Krauser at the point guard position.
See, my question with Pittsburgh is going to be their guards. Are one of their other guards, Antonio Graves, Ronald Ramon, Keith Benjamin, they're going to have to make perimeter shots to beat Pacific because the Tigers do have some size, and it's good news. Looks like Moriker's all right.
Well, we just saw the bump and thump there in Pitt Panthers. You wonder if the officials are going to allow them to play the kind of game that allows them to win.
Well, it's incumbent upon the players to adjust. You want to play your style, but if you're not allowed to due to the officiating, then you have to make the adjustment. I think across the board, though, the officials will allow teams to play their style most of the time.
All right, guys, in Tucson, Niagara and Oklahoma, an 11-11 tie. Seth, Niagara is a team that certainly has no trouble putting points on the board.
No, they're 4th in the country in scoring, but they also give up 78 points per game. Oklahoma's got to be a little bit careful about being drawn into their style of play, and the big question is, can Niagara defend Oklahoma the way they'll need to pull this one out?
Well, you can set your defense as long as the other team is taking the ball out of the basket, and Niagara, as you said, one of the outstanding scoring teams in the country. They've got 3 seniors that make them go, but everybody who gets on the floor for Joe Mahalick's team can certainly handle, shoot, and score the basketball.
That 3 ties the game at 14. Oklahoma hits this tournament on a roll, having won 7 of their last 8 games. It's the first ever meeting between these 2 schools, and right now it's a 14-14 tie as they come up on 13 minutes to play in the first half. And they stay tied at 14. Meanwhile, in Indianapolis, the Wildcats of Kentucky, the Colonels of Eastern Kentucky, and so far things are going the way of the Wildcats.
Well, Kentucky is really a very deep, big physical team up front. They've got excellent speed and quickness on the perimeter, and they've methodically been able to take Eastern Kentucky out of its rhythm and flow, and they've pounded them inside as well as gotten points off turnovers.
Yeah, they went on a 16-4 run early, and Eastern Kentucky's just not making threes. 1 for 5 from behind the arc. When you're overmatched inside, you got to beat them from behind the arc, and so far, Travis Fort's team ain't doing it.
Kentucky on a 24-11 run now. It's a 35-22 lead. We'll keep tabs on all of those games, but right now let's get you back to Cleveland and rejoin Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarkel.
5:54 to go, first half. Winston off the mark, and here comes Milwaukee. Tucker from the outside. Kelly, a three.
You know, for about a 3-minute period of time, I thought they lost a little of their luster going up and down the floor, but right now, the last couple of trips, the Panthers doing just as they started in the beginning of this game, coming down and looking to shoot in a hurry.
Alabama has done a better job going to the basket as Shelton goes down in a heap. A foul call.
And here they come again. It's just basic basketball. Spread the floor out. Look for your opportunities. And if you're shooting the ball, 9 of 12 for three-point line for the Panthers. And a good call from the officials. And watch out. Cameraman involved right there, huh?
Ernest Shelton, second team All-SEC at the free throw line.
And your point is well taken, too. And they start going underneath the basket. Obviously need to hit the free throws. You look at the foul situation, 7 fouls from the team perspective on Milwaukee, 2 only for Alabama. Obviously that's an indication of who's playing this in closer and who's challenging. Could play a big factor with 10 minutes left in this basketball game in the second half.
And that personal foul assessed to James Wright as Shelton hits the second free throw. And the Panthers with a 38-25 lead, under 5.5 to go now, first half here in Cleveland. Keep it on the perimeter. Chris Hill, he can break down a defense, just 5'10". Underneath, extra feed, the spin by McCoy. Kick out. Davis able to save for Hill. They still have time to work with. Pankratz is in there for Milwaukee. 8 to shoot.
Still trying to spread out against this 2-3. Now they're going to hoist.
Davis, big pump fake. He got Shelton in the air. And that one won't go for him.
Big opportunity here for Alabama to get a good bucket right here.
Into the hands of Steele.
Good decision by Steele just then. A young player, understands situations. Pull the ball out.
He does have 5 assists, but you'd never know the big stage for a freshman point guard. Long three. He likes the stage.
Sure does. Set right up. Bright lights. A leading role right there.
Ronald Steele, a long three for Alabama. And back to a 10-point game.
4:20 left in this first half. It's Alabama's chore right now to just get this thing down to about 7 or so if they can. Bruce Pearl wants to extend at his end of the floor.
Timeout, 4:20 to go, first half. Milwaukee up 10 on the Crimson Tide of Alabama.
I know you do more brakes and mufflers than anyone, but do you really do shocks and struts too?
Yes.
Factory scheduled maintenance?
Yes.
Oil changes?
Yes.
Tire rotation?
Yes.
Belts and hoses?
Yes.
Headlights?
Yes.
Batteries?
Yes.
Back rubs?
Yes.
The Midas Touch Maintenance Package for just $29.95. We'll change your oil, rotate your tires, and do a courtesy check, including brakes, battery, filters, and more. For mechanics known for their work and their word,
trust the Midas Touch.
We have absolutely seen a shift in philosophy from Alabama. Probably getting back to what they talked about leading into this game is take advantage of your size and bang it inside. They went through a pretty good stretch there.
And usually it works. I mean, the theory would be the same at the defensive end. Take advantage of your size and force the game out to the perimeter, but McCants and company are letting it rip.
And off the front rim for McCants from three-point territory. And Alabama can close back to single digits. Under 4 minutes to go now. First half. Winston short.
Smart that McCants and Davis are not on the floor for the Panthers at the same time. There's a 40% chance of one of them picking up a third foul, so only have one in it at one time. Nice job by the Panthers there and Bruce Pearl.
And Milwaukee will use some clock here. 19 to shoot. Hill loops one for McCoy.
See if he recognizes. Look underneath.
Over Davidson. Tiger kept it alive. McCoy to the rim. Fake shot, no, but a foul. An aggressive play by Jason McCoy, who will shoot a pair when we come back. 10-point lead, UWM.
That time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. The GM NCAA March Madness event. Score big with specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay.
A cool head.
Is there paper?
And a new copier. $2,500.
Dinosaur. Dedication.
And a coffee maker. $69.
A sense of humor.
And a mop. $17. Having what it takes to run a business? Priceless. To see what the MasterCard Business Card can do for your business, visit our website.
Apparently, somebody was up late last night. Make that somebody's. And that's okay. Because if you work hard, you play hard. Just don't look in the mirror. Unless you're using Nivea for Men Revitalizing Lotion Q10. Q10 restores your skin, leaving it healthy and fit. Well, that takes care of your face, but don't forget about your eyes. Reduce puffiness and lose the dark circles with new Revitalizing Eye Cream Q10. Nivea for Men, more evolved skincare.
What it's like to fly. Get a wireless laptop with technology designed for mobile performance. Make sure it has Intel Centrino mobile technology built in.
It's true. The owners of 40 million different cars in America all have one thing in common. They love the personal service and competitive rates they get from their State Farm agent. And they wouldn't drive without one. Find out why more drivers trust State Farm for auto insurance than the next 3 companies combined.
Coming up, singular at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis. We'll get you caught up on all the tournament news, have a live look at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament, plus a singular Naismith update that's coming up. Singular at the half. Now, Bruce Pearl, in our conversation yesterday, said, how do you go up against a zone defense like Alabama? Drive it, dish it, sink it.
Absolutely, and in that order. It makes a whole lot of sense, but they have executed that perfectly, and then occasionally against the zone again, they've had some success of hitting the free throw line area with the basketball and being patient and looking to the baseline. That is open. We'll see if they can make an adjustment and go for that.
Jason McCoy at the free throw line coming up next. March Madness rocks on. First round action around the nation. Plus, you'll whip around to all the barn burner and all the buzzer beaters. Check your local listings here on CBS. McCoy, the junior from Houston, Texas, extends the lead to 12, and now they extend the defense.
Extend the defense. And this is when McCants has to be careful.
Winston missed it. Blocked up high. Can't lay it in.
Wow, great effort.
Tiger going down hard, trying to save it along the baseline. And Alabama will retain.
Well, I think Tiger was expecting somebody to break his fall right here as he goes down.
It was the second time he went down, too.
Yeah, absolutely. That one he went down pretty hard. He's hobbling a little bit towards the bench right now. The right side of his body, I think, came crashing down on that one.
Well, Tiger takes a seat. Final 3:12 of the first half. A reach-in foul out front.
You know, even though Davis was a little out of sorts there as you take a look at Tiger, he's feeling the right side of his body right there. A little aches and pains. I'm sure, hopefully not too seriously for him, but Davis a little out of control that trip, but because they're in the bonus, smart to start heading towards the basket and get to the free throw line. Let's see if they can start converting and taking advantage of the situation.
Second foul on James Wright as Davis knocks down the free throw. 18 fouls against the Panthers. So in the 1-and-1, Davis will get the second.
78% shooter on the season, so a good guy to have at the line for Alabama.
Had a monster tournament last season as a sophomore, and he hits on a pair.
Still the magic mark of 10 right now. The differential, Alabama trying to get this down to 6 or 7 if they can by the half.
McCants looks down low. McCoy trying to get rid of it. Was it deflected? No.
I don't think so.
Out of bounds. Milwaukee.
McCoy thought Wright was open, and he was for a moment on the baseline, but he disappeared with his little cut to the other side of the floor. You leave your feet, you're in trouble in this game.
High man for Milwaukee, 9 points for McCants.
Throw it to the referee out of bounds, you're in trouble also in this game.
Another Alabama turnover. Mark Gottfried.
He's looking for a deflection.
And he's not going to get it. Mike Sanzier pointing in the other direction, and the Panthers take over with 2:51 to go in this first half. And Tigert back in there, a good sign for Milwaukee. Well, right now it's Hill, Tigert, Tucker, McCants, and Wright. McCants on a pump fake. Brock, Steele, Shelton, Winston, and Davis for Alabama. Here is Hill.
Just enough looks to middle of the floor with Tigert there. Now Wright is in the middle.
Tucker dragging defenders, and Brock unable to hold on to it. Milwaukee will have it with 9 to shoot. Coming up Monday on CBS, Tony Hawk plays a skateboarding legend, but he won't survive a new CSI Miami. Now the clues to his murder are in a video game. Don't miss CSI Miami. It's new Monday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. Ronald Steele called on the personal foul. That is his first. And the 4th team foul against the Crimson Tide.
Steele almost stole that basketball just then. It's just a fraction of a second too late to get it.
Alabama making its 4th consecutive trip to the NCAA tournament. This is the first ever meeting between Milwaukee and Alabama. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Notice how far the Bama players are coming out on the perimeter. What that means is that if they slice a ball into the middle of the floor and go quickly, they'll have some numbers. The Panthers going towards the basket in a half-court set.
Hill using the screen, leaning jumper. And there was contact after the release. They've got numbers. Winston driving to the hole for the jam.
And because Hill fell to the floor, there was no balance defensively. He may have gotten hit on that three-point attempt, but Alabama took advantage of it, and boy, did they ever get down the court quickly on that transition break.
12 points for Winston, 4th dunk for Alabama. There's McCants along the baseline.
So that would get McCants out of this game on the next dead ball with 2 fouls.
Hill, the drive, the floater. Rebound inside. Wright draws the foul, playing bigger than he is at 6'6", 220.
And here they come. The opportunity for Bama to take it down the floor. Winston in a hurry, and nobody getting back. And that was McCants. You see McCants run right out of the picture just then. He had those 2 fouls. Good decision by him not to attack. It's more important for him to save his 3rd foul rather than to foul and go after a bucket there.
Second foul on Chuck Davis as Wright, a 47% shooter, nails the first.
Smart to get McCants out of this game. 1:22 left. Only bad things can happen to a guy with 2 fouls. Good job by Milwaukee recognizing that.
And Mark Pankratz, the junior, comes in to replace him. James Wright was a big-time recruit coming out of high school, had signed with Oklahoma, ended up here with Milwaukee, broke his leg in December 2001, has never quite been the same player, but has found a role in Bruce Pearl's system.
But it hasn't stopped him from being a great 6th man and being also a guy who was willing to mix things up on the inside.
It's been a quiet day for Shelton. 15 to shoot, 1 minute to play in this first half.
Is this aggressive defense?
Lost it, out of bounds. 57 seconds remain. And Milwaukee with a 10-point lead. And McCants comes in.
On the offense, got to be careful here, though, Ian. The one thing about that, we'll see if this pays off for Bruce Pearl. He's got to be. The last thing he said to McCants going out there: do not get yourself into the middle of any kind of traffic play, because you'll pick up the 3rd foul. We don't need that with under a minute left.
Panthers undefeated this season when they lead at the break. They're up by 10 right now with 35 seconds to go until halftime.
Once again, spreading the court with their passing. There you go. Inside out.
Hill.
Great decision by the release. Tiger at that time catching it underneath, not even thinking about going to the basket with it. Hit it back to the outside. Number 10 from three-point range for Milwaukee.
Shot clock has been turned off. That clock
just stopped, didn't it?
You saw the same thing that I did.
17-1. Yep, it sure did.
They're having obvious clock issues. 17.1. It stayed there for a good second.
You trying to catch a bus later or something? You're looking at that clock.
No.
17-1. You're right on it.
Part of the play-by-play handbook. Right now they have 11.9 showing.
And does this give an opportunity, to get the Cats out of the game?
So actually, Bruce Pearl catches a break, and McCants will go to the locker room with just 2 fouls, along with Boo Davis.
Absolutely. 2 very important items.
Seven seconds left, first half. Milwaukee up by 13. Alabama ball. Winston the drive. Offensive foul. Pancratz took the hit.
And notice the shirts closing in. He was not flush and straight, but he had established his position, so okay with the defense. He may have gotten hit from behind, which is one of the questions Mark Gottfried had.
Hill at the buzzer. What a first-half performance from Bruce Pearl's Milwaukee Panthers. At the break, 45-32. Panthers leading Alabama. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Championship will continue after this message.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. We are go. Guidance internal. 10, 9, 8, 7. Ignition sequence start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Get your camera phones ready to catch a G6. Snap a picture of a Pontiac G6 anywhere you see one and send it in by March 18th for your chance to win $1 million. Go to catchag6.com to learn more.
Monday.
Can you make more popcorn?
There's plenty on my shirt.
That's gross.
You go make some for her.
When you're done with the shirt, there's some more by his feet.
Still standing. Then it's the showbiz event of the year when Tony and his daughter team up.
Tatum O'Neal did a movie with her dad and then spent the next 16 years in rehab.
A new Listen Up after a new Still Standing CBS Monday. Don't miss 2.5 Men. Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
The new 2006 all-wheel drive GS. The next phenomenon from Lexus. At Jack Safran's, Lexus of Brookfield and Lexus North Shore.
Hey, Dad, are we there yet?
Just about.
Dad, can I do it?
Sure.
M&I Bank has more locations and ATMs in Wisconsin than any other bank, so we're nearby when you need us. With more choices for worry-free checking and extras you won't get at other banks. Best of all, we just love working with you. Switch to M&I Bank worry-free checking today. M&I Bank, banking the way it was meant to be.
No store will match or beat Calder's 63rd anniversary sale. No store will match or beat financing plans up to 2009 on the Midwest's largest have-at-home today furniture selection. No store will match or beat Calder's Serta Perfect Night Masterpiece or Tempur-Pedic bedding selection, including a $250 Calder's gift card. Good on any unadvertised item we sell. Of course, no store beats Calder's 63rd anniversary sale pricing. So come on, get comfortable at Calder's.
By 13, Niagara has led by as many as 5. Niagara with the ball.
As I just said, their first appearance in the tournament in 35 years. A good play by Everett. And he stepped out of bounds in the shot clock at 16. One player in double figures, Drew Lavender of Oklahoma. It's the Sooners, 35-26.
Just over 3 minutes to play there. Oklahoma with a 35-26 lead on Niagara. Meanwhile, let's check the scoreboard. At halftime in Indianapolis, Eastern Kentucky trails the Wildcats by a score of 40-32. Clark, what about the highlights?
It was a 15-point lead for Kentucky. Early on, Eastern Kentucky had a 1-point lead, 11-10, after this field goal by Matt Witt. But then Ravi Moss for the Wildcats. Going to put Kentucky back on top. Nice job by Bobby Perry to shield the defender, 15-13. And then Kalena Azubuike. Kentucky has had success all the first half getting in the paint, and Azubuike gave the Wildcats a 9-point lead after that hoop.
Interesting little storyline there. Travis Ford, the head coach of Eastern Kentucky, was a member of Kentucky's 93 Final Four team. I wonder how he likes the view from this side.
No, if they win this game, he's not going back to the Commonwealth. I promise you that.
Meanwhile, Wisconsin, Milwaukee in the game of the day so far, leading Alabama at halftime.
That was Kennedy Winston with the dunk. The last time this game was really close, Wisconsin, Milwaukee has been raining threes. That one comes from Ed McCants, and then big Adrian Tigert's going to get into the act. That was part of a 13-0 Panthers run. And again, Ed McCants with the three. 9 for 14 from behind the arc. Wisconsin, Milwaukee has had a double-digit lead throughout.
We've talked about how a coach wonders how his team is going to come out of the locker room. Bruce Pearl has to be thrilled the way his Panthers have played.
Well, again, the aggressive style. Seth talked about it. When you play that aggressive, freewheeling style, if you get shots to go, it really fuels that high-octane offense.
All right, meanwhile, in Boise, Idaho, the Pitt Panthers and the Tigers of Pacific. Early on, Pacific's Jasko Korikic to David Dudley for the layup, and then Korikic to Guillaume Yango. Guillaume Yango is going to get the loose ball in the lane. Guillaume Yango.
You like that name,
to the basket. Takes it in for the dunk. It's a 30-20 lead for the Tigers of Pacific. The Panthers looking in trouble early on.
Well, they've come back from 17-point deficits a couple of times in the Big East, so as long as they can stay close the way they play with a physical style, they've got to get the guys inside going. Troutman has struggled, and so has Carl Krauser at the point guard spot.
Okay, we'll take you to that game shortly. They are in a timeout. As for games that are still to come here on CBS, our next wave of games, number 10 Iowa taking on 7th seed Cincinnati in Indianapolis. Penn and Boston College. We talked about that game at the top of the day. Montana will face top seed Washington, and Utah against UTEP. Meanwhile, in Boise, they're coming back from commercial. We rejoin Tim Brando and Mike Jaminski.
Here in Boise, Idaho, feeding to the Albuquerque bracket opening round. Tim Brando, Mike Jaminski, and Pacific has been in control of this game. A pair of runs, 9-3 to open the game, then a 10-4 run and a 9-2 run shortly thereafter. The catalyst, and Christian Moriker, who is at the free throw line, has really been the story. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. And let's see, a black eye and a bloodied nose.
Yeah, welcome to the NCAA tournament. It's been a tough sledding for Moriker, but Tim, you look at it conversely for Pittsburgh, Troutman, Taft, and Krauser, their 3 leading scorers combined for 7 points, 3 of 12 from the floor.
This equals the largest lead of the day for Pacific. The regular season champions of the Big West Conference, 18-0 in conference play before dropping the tournament championship to Utah State, a team that we'll see later on here in Boise, Idaho.
Even though they were 18-0 in a 22-game winning streak, some anxious moments on Selection Sunday talking to Bob Thomas, and despite that record.
And a steal. Matt Kemper comes away with yet another Pittsburgh turnover. They've committed 7 of them.
All right, we'll keep tabs on that game. There are 2.5 minutes to play in the first half of the game in Tucson, Niagara, and Oklahoma. Kevin Harlan and Dan Bonner are there.
Niagara on a 9-0 run. We had an 18-point turnaround in this first half. The Purple Eagles had led by 5. Oklahoma's lead climbed up to 13 in a first half that has contained 3 ties and 2 lead changes. Ron Mendez, the senior from Montreal, game high 11 for Niagara. This is Jason Williams for the Sooners.
And let's see if Oklahoma goes back to their strategy of attacking with their perimeter guys off the dribble.
Both teams shooting 43%.
Man-to-man defense.
shot clock is down to 7. Terrell Everett finding Bookout inside. And a rebound by Duffy. Oklahoma is +5 in rebounding so far.
Oklahoma back to the man-to-man defense.
And across the lane, Mendez into Bookout with an Oklahoma foul. And he just lured them in there with that move. As you take a look at this Austin bracket, I'll take the first line. 4 coaches have won a national title, and I'll have you name them.
Syracuse's Jim Boeheim, Kentucky's Tubby Smith, Michigan State's Tom Izzo, and Duke's Mike Krzyzewski.
Very good. A 12 seed, of course, is beating a 5. Here we've got a 14 seed Niagara against 3 seed Oklahoma.
And of course, you have another coach in that Austin bracket who played on a national championship team, and that would be Iowa's Steve Alford.
Yes.
How about that?
And the greatest Purple Eagle, Calvin Murphy, with over 2,500 points, and he is here in full color,
resplendent in a purple suit.
Niagara down by 13 moments ago. It's crept to within 2 of 3 seed Oklahoma. With a minute and a half to play in the half. Williams, Johnny Gilbert in there with Everett and Bookout. And Lavender with the ball. That's the Oklahoma foul.
It's amazing how much scoring points gets your energy level up.
Lavender puts it in with the drive, and he's got an Oklahoma high 12 points.
And that has been Oklahoma's best strategy in the half court, having one of their perimeter guys take the ball hard off the dribble and get it to the goal.
Miles and Cruz in the Niagara backcourt. Crozier's in there, Mendez and Duffy. That's the Niagara 5 on the floor for the final minute of this first half. Here's Duffy. Nice feed to the double team Mendez, who is in a straight jacket, bound by Bookout and hit by Gilbert, and a foul on the play. And it goes on Bookout for the first time for OU.
Boy, Mendez is such a force on the inside. Gilbert doing everything he can, but Mendez doing a nice job getting position. And then look how quickly he spins to the basket. And the key there, Kevin, is once he spun to the basket, he didn't dribble the ball anymore. One dribble, then spinning into the lane. No more dribbles, so you got to get fouled.
Singular at the half is on deck. Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, and Sports Illustrated Seth Davis get you caught up in all the action. As look-ins around the country, and the singular Naismith update.
All right, final minute of that game. Oklahoma with a 4-point lead. We're looking ahead to the second half of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Alabama. These threes have a way of evening out as the game progresses. The question is, can the Panthers keep it up in the second half?
Well, I don't think they can. Go ahead,
I think
Seth.
they can. 18-0 this season when leading at halftime. We're headed for 19-0, Greg.
All right, guys. We'll send you back to Cleveland, keep you updated on all the scores. We'll rejoin Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarkel after this.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, raising the bar.
I have this friend. He likes to talk about how his car gets like 300 miles to the gallon. Of course, he likes to leave out how he always gets passed by guys on mopeds. What good is gas mileage without any horsepower? That's why I bought a Saturn.
140 horsepower and 32 miles per gallon highway. The 2005 Saturn Ion. Lease a new 2005 Saturn Ion 1 for $139 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details.
I can't believe Carrie dumped me last night.
Really? You know, a good woman is like a McGriddles.
Okay.
She's sweet on the outside, and then once you get to know her, you find she's got everything you want. But just like that, she's gone. So what's your next move?
I go get myself another McGriddles?
Let's try this again. Women are like coffee.
No timeouts. 2 seconds left, and he's got to put it up.
More bars in more places. That's the goal of Singular's all-over network. With the largest digital voice and data coverage in America, thanks to Cingular and AT&T Wireless joining forces. The new Cingular, raising the bar.
I ran the 800. I studied mechanical engineering and industrial design. I was a conference champion. I graduated with a GPA of 3.2. It took hard work, discipline, and stamina. And believe me, I rely on those things every day raising my daughter.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Here's a look at another candidate for this year's Naismith Trophy presented by Cingular Wireless. Junior forward Craig Smith of Boston College. A formidable inside presence, averaged almost 18 points and 8.5 rebounds a game, leading the 24-4 Eagles to their second straight NCAA tournament berth. Remember, you can still play Naismith Trivia for a shot at $1 million. Text PLAY to 26222 on your wireless phone. 20 questions, 20 chances to win a trip to the 2005 NCAA Men's Final Four and a shot at $1 million.
Halftime, Wisconsin-Milwaukee leading Alabama, number 12 over a number 5 at the break, 45-32. Much more to come after these words.
It's true. The owners of 40 million different cars in America all have one thing in common. They love the personal service and competitive rates they get from their State Farm agent. And they wouldn't drive without one. Find out why more drivers trust State Farm for auto insurance than the next 3 companies combined.
If you're looking for more in an auto parts store, get ready. Advance Auto Parts is working harder to make our stores better than the rest. Get ready for an auto parts store unlike anything you've experienced before. Get ready for a cleaner, brighter, better place to shop. Get ready for a store organized so you can easily find what you're looking for. Get ready for in-store innovations you won't find anywhere else. When you want more than just another auto parts store, the first place to go is Advance Auto Parts.
We're ready in advance.
I'll take one.
There you go. Your shoulder pad.
Oh, thanks.
Introducing new Gatorade Lemonade. Quenches deep body thirst the way only a Gatorade Lemonade can.
Hi, Enterprise. I'm at the repair shop, and I need to rent a car.
At Enterprise, we'll arrange to pick you up free and get you on your way.
Nice save, Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
You've got to step up. Close out all of the pressure. Trust everything you've been taught. And just believe you can do it. You know, my first day on the job sure felt familiar.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Catch the fever!
After 9 years of full-court comedy, be there for a whole different kind of madness when the Final Four New Raymonds begin CBS Monday, April 18th.
Looking for something completely different?
Invaders from Mars.
Hit the lights! Every Tuesday night.
Expect the unexpected.
NCIS Tuesday.
Step up to a new kind of beer. Budweiser Select. Brewed for a crisp taste that finishes clean. Be selective.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Reason, reason, I've got a reason. I've got a reason to live. Reason, reason, I've got a reason. I've got a reason reason to live.
Thanks for opening your M&I Bank home equity line of credit. It's easy to use with the new M&I Rewards equity card.
So I can use the card for anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like a new washer and dryer?
Or a foosball table for the new rec room.
And anything I buy earns rewards points.
Yep, for restaurants.
Team parties.
And gift cards.
New uniforms.
And free travel.
Road trip.
Yes.
Open your M&I home equity line of credit today. M&I Bank. Banking the way it was meant to be. Equal housing lender.
Designed to captivate. Designed to illuminate. The luxury sedan designed to outperform. Introducing the all-new M from Infiniti.
Defining Success, presented by American Express. Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski knows what it takes to succeed in college and beyond. Greg Kubek helped lead Coach K's Blue Devils to 4 Final Fours, culminating in the 1991 National Championship. Today, Kubek hosts a basketball camp in upstate New York, where he uses basketball to help teach children valuable life skills. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Wendy's, Chamberlain, Chevy, and by Gatorade.
Just about set for second half action here in Cleveland. 45-32, Milwaukee leading Alabama. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spanarkel. And this first day of the NCAA tournament, one of the great days in sports. It's like a blank canvas. You know something is going to show up there. You just don't know where, how, when. We might have something brewing here.
Well, if the first 20 minutes are any indication, the Panthers of Milwaukee coming down the floor and just blitzing the outside shots. So their shooting was great. Their methodical defense at the end, very, very physical. So when you see a combination of a physical theme, you think, Ian, down at the offensive end, they're going to be kind of slow like the old Princeton days. Doesn't happen with the Panthers. They're coming down and they're letting it rip.
And it's sense that Alabama is waiting for Kennedy Winston to do it all himself. A lot of standing around on offense. And not much of a flow for the Crimson Tide, what they were accustomed to in winning the SEC West regular season title this past season. Panthers have not been intimidated from the opening tip. You never felt for a moment that they thought that this was too large of a task for them.
I'd go as far even to say, forget about being intimidated. They just look flat out comfortable on the floor.
45-32, we start play, second half. Lob upstairs and slammed down by Jamario Davidson. Emphatic start to the second half for Alabama. Milwaukee with a 45-34 lead over Alabama early stages second half. Half-court set for the Panthers. They have been so impressive from three-point territory so far today. The drive, Chris Hill, and rebounded by Davis of Alabama.
Now they set the tone, the Panthers did in Milwaukee, of shooting the ball well from the long range. 10 of 16 in the first half, looking at every opportunity. I think Bama, which did not take advantage of their size in that first half, have to start looking deep.
And the jump shot goes, a 3 for the freshman, Ronald Steele. What do you think the message was from Godfrey to his team during that break?
I would anticipate that it was a very, very loud wake-up call that he sent to his players and said, listen, you guys want to get embarrassed out here by a team? Then show up like you did in the first half and play like you did. Come out in the first 5 minutes and establish yourself, play hard, pick up your intensity at both ends of the floor.
Off the miss by Tucker. Alabama now, chance to creep closer. It's 45-37, Milwaukee. Shelton feeds to the wing. Steele looking.
They're looking to get their rhythm continually right now. And that's why they'll be patient right here. Good drive by Steele.
Off the penetration. Tip ball out of bounds. And Alabama will retain. Look at the game summary. Both teams have shot it well. Right now, Alabama shooting at 56% overall, but Milwaukee's three-point shot, the biggest key of all, 10 of 16.
And we've seen an adjustment also at the half by Mark Godfrey. They're now looking to stroke it a little quicker.
And Ernest Shelton from way downtown.
And they're also looking to drive it a little bit. For the first time, the Panthers of Milwaukee, Bruce Pearl has to make a decision right now.
Big start for Alabama. First 2 minutes of this second half.
I don't look at myself as a basketball coach. I look at myself as a leader who happens to coach basketball. When they get out into the workplace, they're armed with not just a jump shot or a dribble. I want you armed for life. You know, I want you to develop as a player. I want you to develop as a student. And I want you to develop as a human being. My life isn't about playing games. That's why my card is American Express.
If your last encounter with fruit was on a Hawaiian shirt, you'll want to try this. Introducing the Fresh Fruit Bowl and Cup. Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes with a low-fat yogurt dip. Only at Wendy's. It's better here.
I'll take one.
Here you go. Your shoulder pad.
Oh, thanks.
Introducing new Gatorade Lemonade. Quenches deep body thirst the way only a Gatorade Lemonade can.
I know you do more brakes and mufflers than anyone, but do you really do shocks and struts too?
Yes.
Factory scheduled maintenance?
Yes.
Oil changes?
Yes.
Tire rotation?
Yes.
Belts and hoses?
Yes.
Headlights?
Yes.
Batteries?
Yes.
Back rubs?
Yes.
The Midas Touch Maintenance Package for just $29.95. We'll change your oil, rotate your tires, and do a courtesy check, including brakes, battery, filters, and more. For mechanics known for their work and their word,
trust the Midas Touch.
Get on the ball. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball.
It's that time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Score big on specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay. Hurry ends March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Get on the ball.
Tony Hawk is a skateboarding legend, but he won't survive a new CSI Miami.
So our accident is not an accident at all. Blunt force trauma to the head.
Simulation. It's real athletes doing real moves.
This isn't just motion capture footage, it's a snuff video.
New CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
A housewife murdered.
Gun was never found?
Now, new clues will lead to a neighborhood of suspects.
I actually enjoyed watching her suffer.
Cold Case, CBS Sunday.
Early stages second half, and the halftime message was heard loud and clear by Mark Gottfried. Bama has responded, hoping that lightning does not strike twice on March the 17th. 16 years ago, upset by 11 seed South Alabama in the first round of the NCAA tournament. This year, Alabama comes in as a number 5. Panthers are a number 12, champions of the Horizon League.
Well, let's see if the Panthers can establish or reestablish their confidence. The shot clock winding down. That's one of their sets. Now down to 5 seconds.
And Boo Davis playing without the headband. Shot clock down to 3. Oh, a bailout out near the sideline. And the foul called on Shelton, his first.
Well, a little confusion right here. They're not going to get a real good shot off right there, and a little bit of a reach in. You're right. I mean, going away from the basket, a mistake. You really have to understand the shot clock situation at the defensive end as much as you do at the offense.
And a new shot clock to work with as Wright comes in and replaces Davis. Here's McCants, one-on-one with Shelton. McCants, he took the hit, couldn't finish, and it's rebounded by Davidson. Alabama 3 of its last 3 from three-point territory after starting 1 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Good decision by Shelton to pull that out. Numbers weren't there from a defensive standpoint. The Panthers getting back quickly.
Steele swings it. Kennedy Winston, he's the high man with 12 points, the only player in double digits.
Keep in mind, the Panthers continue to sag inside.
Winston went down. Shot clock is at 5. Here's Steele. Shot clock at 2. Winston on the jumper. No. And it's rebounded by McCants. Long lead feed. Tucker in traffic lays it in.
Well, how many times do you see a guy forget about catching the basketball when he's running down the floor by himself and he knows he's getting close to being under the basket? Just a simple, good catch by Tucker and the finish.
Joe Tucker, who made clutch free throws late against Detroit in the Horizon League title game. Travel called on Chuck Davis out front. Near the end of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. To honor their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's generous scholarship fund. Chevy, an American Revolution.
Tucker with the post up down low.
There's the back in. Tucker against the taller Davis. Kick out. McCants, left hand. High off the window. And the foul.
That's the second time in the last 35 seconds that he went towards the left hand.
Second foul on Shelton. Milwaukee can bring the lead back to double figures with a free throw from McCants.
The thing that's interesting to me with the Panthers and McCants leading the charge right now is the fact that this is a team that built their lead in the first half by shooting the long ball. They get in a little bit of trouble. They sense that Bama's making a run at them. What do? They start attacking the basket. Smart basketball.
82% shooter, but he missed at a chance at a three-point play. 49-40. Just about 4 minutes gone by in this second half.
Continue to look down up to the blocks. A little bit of a bump down low. Is that right? Pushing and shoving a little bit.
Trying to establish against Davis.
And notice going towards the basket and then extending McCants' hand away from the glass. Look at the nice, strong drive. Smart, though. You need a bucket. Go to the basket and test the waters underneath.
Third foul against the senior, James Wright. Here is Shelton, the penetration. And he puts it in.
Hill up on that little screen up top just then to break down a seam.
Ernest Shelton. He has made an effort to go to the rim more. That's rejected by Davidson. The run out. And Winston with the layup.
Once you might get through. Twice you may have a prayer going through there. To the third time, not quite.
McCants, corner three. Oh, they have no conscience when it comes to shooting the triple.
Isn't that the same guy who just got one put back in his face and he comes right back down and nails a long ball?
52-44. And crowding defensively. McCants used the body on Shelton. Major swat by Davidson.
The Chevy SSR, now with 390 horsepower and an available 6-speed manual transmission. Chevy, an American Revolution. Now get this attractive lease offer on a 2005 SSR. Residency restrictions apply. See your local Chevy dealer for details.
How long have you two been together?
Teresa counts from the first day that we met, and I count from the first...
Wow. Ashton Kutcher.
He's about ready to pop a blood vessel in his head.
Bernie Mac.
You want to force me to use the muscle?
On March 25th.
I'm not going to back down.
Let the battle begin. Guess who?
These eyes, they see everything.
Take it off.
You take it off.
Rated PG-13. Everywhere March 25th.
Here, honey, take some Dayquil. It'll relieve your cold symptoms to help you get your energy back so you can go out with the boys.
The boys. The boys.
Dayquil, the non-drowsy, stuffy head, sore throat, cough, and aching fever, help get back your energy medicine. For sinus problems, try new Dayquil Sinus.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever.
It's Applebee's Barbecue Fever. Slow-cooked barbecue kissed with a sweet honey barbecue sauce.
Fever, till you sizzle. What a lovely way to burn.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Every month, tens of thousands of people come home to power outages and to a garage door that doesn't open. That's why LiftMaster garage door openers offer smarter access solutions, like our EverCharge battery backup system. Now, if your power goes out, our battery backup keeps your LiftMaster garage door opener performing. Visit our website for your nearest LiftMaster dealer and find out how your garage door opener can offer you more. Get a free extra remote and lighting accessory, plus a $30 mail-in installation rebate.
Milwaukee 52, Alabama 44. Story developing here. Leading scorer for the Panthers, Ed McCants, picks up his third personal foul. He's the high man today with 14 points. And McCants is going to take a seat on the bench with 15:18 to go. Second half, Alabama, very strong start to the second half, but UWM has answered.
They sure have. 13 points was the deficit for Alabama. I think in the first 5 minutes they've reestablished that they're ready to play.
Ernest Shelton is off the mark for three, trying to track it down in the corner. And out of bounds, off of the Panthers. Foul situation for Milwaukee. McCants with three, Wright has three, and then Davis and Tigert with two each. No major foul trouble right now for Alabama. New shot clock for the Crimson Tide to work with. They are the number 5 seed in the Chicago bracket. And it's going the other way.
You know, the Panthers just then turning the basket, turning over Bama with the defensive effort right there. Just a little bit of a flick. And it's double flick actually going out of bounds. They regain the basketball.
Boo Davis has come back in for the Panthers. Hill swings it. Tucker, the drop using the screen, and he gets half. Joe Tucker is going to the free throw line for Milwaukee.
The opening that occurs in the middle of the floor, when you see right here, there's so much movement away. A good screen right there, but that's not the only reason he's getting a slice to the basket. Notice over this side of the floor, there's nobody to help out defensively. That's because the Panthers are moving and setting screens away from the power side, the weak side of the floor, which ultimately opens up the other side for drive opportunities.
Kennedy Winston called on his second foul, and here is Tucker, the 73% shooter. And he hits. Well, here's how things set up in the Chicago region. Alabama and Milwaukee, the first round 5-12 matchup. Boston College Penn, the survivor here, will take on the winner there. And 2 out of 2 for Joe Tucker.
And which Boston College do we see this afternoon, right? The one that went 20-0 or the one that's been struggling at 4-4 over the last 8? Bama has to call a timeout. They have to be ready for the full court pressure by Bruce Pearl.
Just over 5 minutes gone by in the second half in Cleveland.
As you can see, folks, the winds right now are really gusting. We haven't seen anybody out here on the streets downtown. It's all but deserted. The roads are beginning to flood. Reports of bottlenecks are coming in from all over. Games have been canceled. Now, based on the data we're gathering back at the studio, all indications are this storm is headed for the record book. So again, stay inside. I gotta tell you, folks, I don't know if we're gonna need to start collecting 2 of every animal, but we'll keep...
In the 5-12 game, it is not uncommon to see the 12 step up in level of competition and get a W. Since 1985, the most first-round upsets have come along the 5-12 line. And a foul call. Davis was playing on the baseline and will pick up his third for Milwaukee.
His third personal foul. His foul number 3.
Each team now with 3 team fouls. 14:53 to go, second half.
And once again, you see the real tight opportunity defensively. Bama just looking to break the press without a turnover, without getting careless with the basketball.
Great first step. Oh, watch out. Bodies flying as Winston committed on the drive, and he picks up the foul.
And you want to see a guy sacrifice his body. Watch Derek Ford right here. Take the shot. The knee's coming up, but it's not. It's an inadvertently done with the knee up high. But good job defensively right there. Winston trying to take that left side of the floor, which he did in the first half. Picks up his third foul. Great recognition by the Panthers with the rotation defensively.
So the lead stays at 10.
Upstairs.
And in between, and it rolls down. Jason McCoy able to get a fingertip on it.
Anyway, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. There, he barely got his fingertip on it and found a way to squeeze the ball over the rim.
Pump fake. Steal a three. Book it.
Well, continues to impress with his game. His style under control. Good decisions by the youngster at the point.
On the crossover, Davis. And it comes off the rim, but a foul call.
We'll take a look at the lob. It's not perfectly executed, but a little bit of a slice right there defensively, and McCoy just finding a way to get his hand on the basketball. We'll go upstairs and take a look. And you talk about a friendly bounce, about 4 little bounces up there in the rim, but they will take it.
And the third foul now on Ernest Shelton. So Shelton with 3, Kennedy Winston with 3, 2 of the leaders on this Alabama team that went to the regional final last year, losing to UConn 87-71. And another free throw coming for the junior from Chicago, Boo Davis.
And one of the things most impressive about Milwaukee is they have answered every time in the last 4 minutes or so. Bama playing their best basketball in the last 4 or 5 minutes, but the answers have been there by the Panthers at the offensive end.
On a post-up, Davis now facing the rim.
Have to start doing this. Get inside, try to test the water.
Double team, it was blocked. And slammed down. Davidson in the right spot.
See, even initially, Ian, if the first guy doesn't score, there's opportunities for their length to take over.
Mark Pankratz will check in. It didn't look like Davidson held onto the rim all that long.
No.
That might be the question right now.
Either that or they were looking at the clock again. Yeah, see, he doesn't hang on it there, especially when somebody there, I think the clock was shut off, so there's more clock. He's allowed to hang on to that rim when there's a body underneath him, too, by the way.
It's an 8-point game. Out on the perimeter, Davis. Into the hands of Pankratz.
This is where they'll work the clock also. I thought they'd do more of this in the first half, but the outside shots were there, so the Panthers were taking those outside shots. Let's see if they start using the clock and maybe drive towards the hoop.
8 to shoot. Long jumper, Boo Davis. Offensive rebound. McCoy, he can't finish around the rim. And Alabama's got it.
Go figure, right? He squeezes one in there. The easiest shot that he'll find all night probably. Doesn't go down for him.
Now spread the floor. Shelton will drive, dish, steal a 3. Another for the freshman from Birmingham.
And Shelton made a great decision just then because he has those 3 fouls. He stops before the charge and kicks it out. Bring everybody down deep, kick it out to your shooter, and Steele just continues to impress.
A proven winner at the high school level. Ronald Steele, his first NCAA tournament game. The freshman. Pull up. Davis rims out. Shelton dives the ball to himself. And we are down to a 5-point disparity. 12:32 to go. Shelton's 3 too strong, and Davis up high to get it.
Too strong, maybe too quickly also.
Davis.
Oh, good strength.
And Shelton picks his pocket. 2-on-2 developing. And Shelton will wait for his teammates.
Shelton's got to be very careful with that type of play. He gets away with it with a good strip. Look at the collapse again down low.
Kick out, Winston. No, Davidson can't stick it in, but a foul call. McCoy trying to defend Davidson.
Little crossover, the hand goes through. Pretty good strip, got the ball, but a lot of times you get called for a defensive strip right there by slapping the knee. He was very, very close to picking it up, taking that chance with the 3 fouls.
And the first foul called against McCoy. Jamario Davidson, the sophomore from Atlanta. Very long and lean, adding a little bit of muscle this season. Been a terrific defensive player, averaging a block and a half per game for the Crimson Tide. 67% shooter, misses on the first. Coming up Sunday on CBS, a housewife is murdered. Now, 23 years later, new clues lead detectives to a neighborhood full of suspects. Don't miss a new episode of Cold Case. Sunday, 8, 7 Central on CBS. Another free throw coming for Jamario Davidson. Capable of being a double-double performer down the road for this Alabama program. And can bring the Crimson Tide to within 4. And missed the second through the hands of Davis. Felix has got it, who just checked in for the Crimson Tide.
This is where they have to take advantage of a second opportunity right here. Continue against this man-to-man now to see if they can get the ball down low. Don't settle for the outside shot quicker.
Winston gives it up. Davidson. On the entry. Step through by Tiger. Nearly came up with it. Here's Davis. Outside. Winston lines it up. Can't hit the three. And rebounded strong side by Adrian Tiger.
Body's starting to get bounced around underneath also.
Ed McCants back in there, the leading scorer for the Panthers. And the Horizon League Player of the Year.
Notice how they spread the floor out with their cuts also along the baseline a lot. Keep the defenders moving down low, which usually allows little opportunity for the perimeter players to go by people.
Here's McCants. On a crossover, lost his footing. Felix goes down to get it. A tie-up.
Good no. Yeah, we're looking for a timeout just then, but that's a good no timeout call just then. It's a jump.
Possession arrow favors Milwaukee. They'll have it when we come back to Cleveland in a 5-point game.
Delivery pizza, baby. Play you for the last piece. I'm gonna light you up, man. Oh, okay, my picture, baby. Can't help it, man. Come on, you need some help. Yeah. Hey, that's my delivery pizza.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Enter DiGiorno's full ride. You can win $40 grand for college or NCAA men's Final Four tickets. Details on specially marked packages or DiGiorno.com.
Once again, I find myself with my friends. Dancing the night away, it's like the party never ends. Seeing stars, I'm seeing stars. Seeing stars, I'm seeing stars. Oh my, starry-eyed surprise. Sundown to sunrise, dance all night. We gonna dance all night, dance all night to this DJ.
Got broadband, you're ready to go. Call 1-800-925-4VON or visit Vonage.com. Also available at these fine retailers.
Eyes match your PJs. There's a Visine for that. Eyes dried out? There's a Visine for that. Tears of joy?
No, Dad. Eye allergies.
Sad about eye allergies? There's a Visine for that. For over 40 years, Visine has been the eye expert. So no matter what your eye irritation, red, dry, itch, or even contacts, there's a Visine for that.
Introducing the new commotion in the Chevy family. The Cobalt Coupe, Sedan, and SS Supercharged. Chevy Cobalt, an American revolution.
Wisconsin, Milwaukee holding on to a 57-52 lead on Alabama. First round action from the Chicago bracket. 11-11 to play in this second half. Shot clock at 6 after the tie-up. Felix gets a piece of it. And Milwaukee will retain. Joe Tucker in. And Mark Pankratz will head back to the bench. 6 seconds remain on the shot clock. Bruce Pearl, his team was ready to play. That was obvious from the beginning. McCants. Oh, a double clutch. McCants hitting on the baseline jumper, making the adjustment for the Dukes.
Hurt me a little at the defensive end. That's not supposed to go in.
59-52. McCants has 16. Maybe it's just Milwaukee's day.
It is to this point, that's for sure.
Davidson defended outside by Tiger.
You don't want your big guys handling the basketball that frequently outside. Bama has to get it to them on the blocks.
On the dump down, Felix couldn't catch it. Tiger's got it for Milwaukee. Here's Davis handling it. Check out for Tiger. Tucker the drive. Back on the perimeter, McCants for Milwaukee. 17 points has been the largest lead of the day for the Panthers. Right now, 7-point advantage, 9 to shoot at the midway point, second half. Tucker had it blocked on the perimeter by Davis.
They have gotten a little hand or arm on that one, too. Bruce Pearl was up off the bench. The Milwaukee end.
Steal, contact with Tiger. Felix. And intercepted. Davis. He will glide in for the jam.
McCants caught one down the other end, too, by Felix when he crossed on him with the basketball just then and caught him right across the chin. He went down, but the ball also got stolen at the same exact time for an easy break.
15 Alabama turnovers, and Milwaukee has taken advantage. 61-52 Panthers. On the cross, Steele had it knocked away, but a reach-in foul. Brew Davis. And that's going to be number 4 on the Milwaukee guard.
You always want to get the basketball in a shooter's hands, a guy who can drive also if need be. That is ridiculous, though. A great finish and terrific concentration by McCants to allow the defender to go by him.
You see the last name, and what's the first question you ask? Is he related to Mashab McCants from North Carolina? We're doing a little investigative work. We're talking 4th or 5th cousins. Distant cousins is the last word we received.
You sound like my family, the way we talk about one removed, cousins here and there, but still, he's not the only McCants in Carolina that's in this NCAA tournament.
Kennedy Winston off the mark. And once again, Milwaukee can take a double-digit lead.
Boy, a little different tone, too, that they set in the first half. Up and down, looking for threes. Now they're spreading the court, methodically chipping away at some clock every possession.
Tucker, spin. Tucker, lunging attempt, goes down.
And if you notice also with that, they're going towards the basket with the high percentage of their shots. And Alabama really starting to question themselves now because a couple of lucky shots have gone in against them. Bruce Pearl's team is on a little roll.
11-point lead in the second half.
Get on the ball. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball.
That time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. The GM NCAA March Madness event. Score big with specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay.
Take a look at the tournament summary. SEC has 5 teams in this season's tournament, but that's the least they've had since 1998. 12 seed has knocked off a 5 seed every year since 85, except 2, 1988 and 2000. And that's exactly what is on display here, a 12 and a 5.
Good decision coming out with the trap. Bama not ready for it, and they throw the basketball away. Good decision by Milwaukee on the sidelines. This is a team, Mark Godfrey's team. Good shake of the head right there because he's trying to figure it out himself. His team having trouble on the floor, figuring out the changing defenses.
16th turnover for Alabama. They do not resemble the team that went to the Elite Eight. McCants were able to convert underneath. Over the back call on Derek Ford. 8:23 to play in the second half. 63-52, Milwaukee.
It is by no means panic time for Alabama with 8 minutes and change left in this game, but they really have to get some rhythm at the offensive end.
Steele, he's been the savior. And can't hit the 3. He was 4 for 4 from 3-point range as Alabama does control the offensive board.
Defensively, though, the Panthers just do not quit. Even after offensive rebounds, they're ready to play defense immediately.
Offensive foul. Chuck Davis, the back in on Tiger.
And there's a great example of it. Ready to play defense is what the tempo has been set.
Milwaukee holding on to the double-digit advantage.
No, I feel all right now. I feel pretty good, y'all.
The SS Chevys are back. 6 cars, 1,926 horsepower.
Take the dollar. What's going on, man? You won't take my dollar. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, yeah, it's new from KFC. Real chicken breast. Only $1.
You got that for $1?
Yeah. I took your $1.
Oh.
Ready for a tasty bargain? Try the brand new 99-cent snacker from KFC. 100% hand-floured chicken breast, pepper mayo, and crisp lettuce freshly prepared on a sesame seed bun. Now your dollar goes further at KFC.
I don't look at myself as a basketball coach. I look at myself as a leader who happens to coach basketball. When they get out into the workplace, they're armed with not just a jump shot or a dribble. I want you armed for life. You know, I want you to develop as a player. I want you to develop as a student. And I want you to develop as a human being. My life isn't about playing games. That's why my card is American Express.
Hi, we switched to Fair and Flexible at Sprint because our old wireless company charges huge fees for going over our minutes on our plan. So if Mom called, you think, is it worth it? Is a 20-minute conversation about what her cat did today worth it? I mean, it's a cat.
Which is why you switched.
Yes.
No more huge overages. Sprint automatically adds anytime minutes as you need them. Every 100 minutes costs just $5. Others charge $35 or more. Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
Riding, running, and racing.
You're gonna hustle?
But it's not all fun and games. Catch a new Amazing Race CBS Tuesday.
Ernie Els, a two-time runner-up at Augusta National, sets his sights on the coveted green jacket, a tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Milwaukee continues to hold off Alabama, and one of the things that Ed McCants is really doing a good job of is making decisions. And here he is shooting the basketball from long range, finding a way to break people down off the dribble also, and then an up and down hesitation in midair, and finds a way, and really finds a way to put a tough shot down to give them some more space on the scoreboard.
Sweet-looking stroke, who began his college career at Northwestern before going the junior college route. Alabama struggling, haven't scored in over 5 minutes of game action. 7:40 to go, second half. Milwaukee 63, Alabama 52. This is first round play from the Chicago bracket.
Alabama really needs to stop right here.
Get it inside, Tucker. The back in on Davis. Tucker. And it's rebounded by Davidson.
They got the stop, and now you need a good shot down this end. Be patient with the basketball.
Winston fouled as he took it to the hole. It was called on the floor. Alabama has missed on its last 5 attempts, and they've had 4 turnovers over a 5-minute stretch. Wright picks up his 4th foul for Milwaukee.
Milwaukee picks up their 7th team foul, so that's why Winston is at the line.
Winston shoots it at a 77% clip. In comes Jason McCoy replacing James Wright. Kennedy Winston off-season knee surgery for 2 consecutive years as he trains the free throw. Coming up Wednesday on Survivor, one tribe's outnumbered 8-4. Now they face an unforgettable showdown. Don't miss a powerful new episode of Survivor. Special night Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Gets both of them to go down, so take a little time and come to the free throw line, take advantage of that opportunity. No clock movement.
63-54. We will hit the 7-minute mark of this second half. On the outside, Tiger feeding to the post. Tucker beats his man. He was able to back down Davis and fend him off for the deuce.
You know, Davis is listed at 230 pounds, and Tucker at 220 is really bouncing him around down deep.
And Joe Tucker with a strong showing. The drive and the bucket for Kennedy Winston, a chance for 3.
Now, this is where big players have to step up in situations like this. You look down the other end and look at the position. Tucker just bouncing people around down low. And then we see Winston come down the middle of the lane, getting hit off the arm and completing the play. So an opportunity here for Winston to start getting more aggressive at the offensive end for Alabama.
And he gets the roll on the free throw, 19 points for the junior from Pritchard, Alabama. John Felix comes in. And Jamario Davidson will sit. 8-point game, 6:35 to play. Outside McCoy.
Once again, notice the way they're spreading the floor, looking for opportunities for the middle of the floor to open up when guys are cutting away from the middle of the floor. But the first thing they want to do is just take the shot clock down as we near 10 seconds again.
Here's Hill. Shot clock now at 8. McCants down to 4.
Here comes a prayer.
McCants, long 3. Off the rim. Rebounded by Tiger. And McCants can back it up.
An opportunity to take 45 seconds off the clock in the possession if they want. You don't want to really get to that point this time of the game where they're shooting with 5 seconds or less.
Here's Tucker. He's got 14 points on the crossover. Fouled by Davis. And exactly what the Panthers are looking to do.
You are 100% correct, because what happens in situations like that, you start to get frustrated. You know you're down in a basketball game with 6 minutes or less. You start to panic. You start to get frustrated. Then all of a sudden, instead of moving your feet, the arms start to reach for the steals.
And the 4th foul on Chuck Davis. Such an important part of what Alabama does down low. And now he's on the bench. Replaced by Jamario Davidson. 17th foul against the Crimson Tide. Tucker, 73% shooter. Drains the first. Don't miss a minute of March Madness. Get live video to all games outside of your viewing area. Watch live team press conferences. Access archives of games you missed. NCAA March Madness on demand. Only at ncaasports.com or cstv.com. Couple of free throws for Joe Tucker.
And you'll notice the Panthers, after their makes, are still picking up full court. They kind of want to continue to wear you down. Even though they're up, their thought process is we want to wear you down at the defensive end by making you play tough offensive basketball.
Winston on the reload. Steal a pump fake. Driving. High floater. No. And it's rebounded by Tucker.
All the work and nothing to show for it at the offensive end. The Panthers continue to keep the intensity level, and now they frustrate you down this end.
Looking to improve on a 10-point lead. Tucker outside McCants. We approach 5 minutes to play.
In the first 20 seconds of the shot clock, if they get a layup, a real open shot, they go for it. But now, once again, we're repeating ourselves. What's on the shot clock? 10 and under as they start into their offensive true sets.
They'll try to use the Tucker screen. Looking for an opening. Splits defenders. Tipped up in the air. Tucker's got it. They can reset.
Well, we have an injury, though.
Chris Hill banged up as he went to the hole. Hill got knocked around and remains on his back right in the middle of the paint. He's the junior from Chicago.
May have gotten hit in the face area. Usually when you pop up that quickly, it's not a problem with the lower body. As he comes through, you'll see a step across. He squeezes through. He may have actually hit somebody down low as he was falling to the floor.
And Bruce Pearl yesterday told us Chris Hill is an all-league performer with under 4 minutes to play in the game. Tucker, he has performed like an all-world player around the glass.
You see the way that they just lulled him to sleep again? They've been taking the shot clock down to that 10-second mark, but they found an open seam and went for it.
Winston had it stripped and a foul called against McCants.
Now you're thinking, well, let's take some time off the clock. If you're open, they're going to go right after it. A strong cut right across the middle of the floor where the defender's not there. No reaction. But this is a team that is playing poised basketball.
The 4th foul on Ed McCants as Kennedy Winston hits the first free throw. McCants with 16 points is going ahead to the bench with 4.5 to go. Joe Tucker now the high man with 18.
And obviously, depending on what Alabama does will dictate how long he sits on that bench.
Now Hill is going to the sideline. And he is replaced by Mark Pancratz. The officials felt there might be some blood.
Yeah, that could possibly be because, looks like there's going to be a gauze pay. Yeah, exactly what it looks like.
1 out of 2 at the line for Kennedy Winston. 69-58, the number 12 seed in the Chicago region leading 5th-seeded Alabama. The Panthers of Wisconsin, Milwaukee on top.
Not their best ball handling team on the floor right now.
And it comes off of Tucker, out of bounds, a turnover.
That's why that injury to Hill. We'll see how long it takes to get him back on the floor.
Let's get you updated on the foul situation. McCants and Wright, along with Davis, 4 each for UWM. And the 4 fouls on Chuck Davis for Alabama. 69-58, 4 minutes to play, second half here in Cleveland. Shelton looking to get going, had it knocked away. Steal, kick out. Kennedy Winston. And they just cannot find the rim.
Can't buy it for point. They closing up on the defensive end. Tucker in particular, just establishing great position. Once again, they will pull it out, I'm sure, and spread the floor. Hill looks like he's okay, heading towards the other end of the bench, which is a good sign for Bruce Pearl and the Panthers.
Tucker, drive, follow, goes down. Handcrat's able to follow. They'll wave off the bucket. Personal foul called for forehand. Milwaukee in control.
What I like about Vision from Sprint is the picture mail. So I'm pet sitting my friend's bird. I take a picture of it. Now, anything happens, he flies away. I send the picture to a pet store. Get another one, a better one even. You're a good friend, Curtis.
With Sprint PCS Picture Mail, you can take and send unlimited pictures. Try it and other Sprint PCS Vision services free and see how easy and amazing they really are. Sprint PCS, now that's better.
Come get it. I think that's a challenge. Are you serious? I won't even put my bag down. Oh, come on, man. Bro, let that man shoot. I got nothing. You don't got nothing. Your mouth looks dry. Have a Coke.
You know what that is? That's the room time, son.
The marriage was built to last.
You are so awesome.
But the house was built too small.
This is kind of awesome.
How long are we here?
For 1 year, Sparks will fly.
This is not awesome.
I just want to make an omelet.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The drama will be real, but it won't save you any money on car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?
One survivor reveals his faith. Another reveals her fear.
I don't have the strength.
And one tribe has never won immunity. To stay alive, they'll face a do-or-die challenge. Get ready for an unforgettable showdown. New Survivor on a special night, CBS Wednesday.
Yesterday, here in the open practices in Cleveland, Milwaukee could not get into the arena because they didn't have picture IDs. Security stopped them at the door, told them, go back to the hotel, get your picture IDs. You think security may know them now?
Well, if they didn't know them coming in the door today, they're going to know them when they're leaving, that's for sure, the way this is shaping up right now. And the key, Ian, as we talked also with Bruce Pearl yesterday, one of the things that I was left with his concept was, in the last 5 minutes of games, we want to make sure that we've worn guys down on the opposition. And it looks right now that the Bama guys are a little tired. We'll see if they have something left in them to make a run.
He was one of the greatest entertainers who ever lived. They called him the King. Don't miss the original movie event of the year. It's Elvis coming this May on CBS. Tucker at the line. And Joa Tucker has scored the last 10 Panther points. 71-58. It's now for Alabama, or it's not going to happen. Steele, the dish. Shelton winds it up and knocks it down for three.
Well, let's see if Alabama wants to change. Here they go. A little bit of pressure. First time we've really seen it. Let's see what kind of decisions Hill makes in the backcourt. So far, pretty good.
Chris Hill. Over to Tucker. He's been feeling it. 3 minutes to play. And a 10-point game. Dish. McCoy underneath.
Nice decision by McCoy to kick it out. Very good job. Well-coached basketball team here down the stretch.
Chris Hill, this team has gone 18-3 since he became the starter at point guard on December the 22nd. Contact and a travel.
Well, they effectively took off a bunch of time off that clock again, about 29, 30 seconds.
Well, now let's check out the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Turnovers, Alabama with 17 of them, and Milwaukee has taken advantage of the Crimson Tide mistakes. Get complete NCAA tournament coverage at CBSSportsline.com. The drive, steal, it doesn't go, but a foul.
Good smarts by Steele right there, down 10 points, 2:36 left on the clock. You must stop the clock as often as you possibly can now if you're Alabama. Just the reverse is true for the Panthers of Milwaukee.
And the first foul on Chris Hill, the freshman Ronald Steele. Just the third freshman to start at point guard for Alabama. Enos Watley back in 1982, Mo Williams in 2002, and now Ronald Steele. And he hits the first free throw. First round upset since 1985. This 12-5 matchup is always intriguing. And that's played out here today in Cleveland. McCants back in for the final 2:36. Playing with 4 fouls for Milwaukee.
They were able to get him out of the game for 2 and change, so that worked to their advantage. A little 2-2-1 look right now for Alabama. Good hands. Hill lost pretty quick.
Able to get it back. Very poised. Chris Hill, something that Bruce Pearl talked about at great length yesterday. Out of the corner. McCants! Oh, a killer 3!
Was that ever huge, Ian? Because once again, that mechanism of lulling people to sleep, and McCants just comes out firing from long range.
Jump step on the dish. Davis slams it down off the feed from Winston. And a quick timeout for Alabama. Big jump shot from McCants. Just when Alabama thought they were getting back into it, Milwaukee in front.
To all those parents who choose the minivan over the sports car, the vacation in Orlando over Antigua, chicken fingers over chicken cordon bleu. Just think, soon you'll have to do none of those things. Look into retirement savings with the 3rd largest public company in the world. Retirement Loans Insurance. AIG. We know money.
9-point differential. 2:07 to go, second half. And Milwaukee leading Alabama 74-65. Game reset. Plenty of timeouts for Milwaukee to work with. The team foul situation. Both teams, at least in the bonus, Milwaukee already has committed 10 team fouls and a crowd in the corner.
You will see Alabama come at them right now with everything they have in terms of a scramble-type defensive effort, looking for traps, looking for steals, deflections, any way they can get it. They got to turn this into a chaotic last 2 minutes and change.
But they get it to the man that Milwaukee wants the ball in, and that's Hill. And Steele has just picked up his second foul. Hill, a 75% shooter.
Well, watch how quickly he turns the corner. His object here is to get the shoulder initially by the defender, and he does that, but then he gets tripped up. So well executed initially, and that's why you end up picking up the foul, because you go by somebody with your shoulder.
Chris Hill, he was a part-time starter as a sophomore. Tough-minded point guard from Whitney Young High School, and Hill will shoot the 1-and-1. Here comes James Wright replacing Boo Davis. 2:03 to play. 17-point lead. That was the largest lead in the first half for Milwaukee. Alabama made a terrific run early portion second half. Hill misses on the free throw and tipped in.
I think it was Tiger who got that one. A quick little release from his position. Boy, things going well for the Panthers when that goes in.
That may have come off Alabama. Underneath the rim.
Possibly.
We'll have to take a look at it. A timeout for Kennedy Winston. 11-point Milwaukee lead.
Later on, LeBron James is here, and we'll have this, something like that. Let's just run through it. Yeah. Okay. No, I think it's sold out, actually. Let me just start like that. Whoa! Are you guys rolling on this? Yeah. That's a 90-footer. Ow! That is amazing. Oh, my. Did you get that? You have that, right?
Get on the ball. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball.
It's that time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Score big on specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay. Hurry ends March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Get on the ball.
Milwaukee looking to pull off the early upset here, and sometimes you get lucky and you get a tip. Two guys go after the basketball. Target on the offensive end will get credit for it. He just barely gets a finger on it, but that's the second or third shot that we've seen go in for Milwaukee this afternoon that have kind of squeezed through the hoop up top.
Over the last 4 years, number 5 seeds have had some problems in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Alabama had closed to within 5, 57-52 with 13 minutes to go, and they get a quick three. John Felix able to knock it down. Long lead pass.
Oh, good decision.
And White will kick it out.
Time is more important than the scoreboard right now.
And the giveaway. Double bonus now as Tucker will go to the line. And the 4th foul on Kennedy Winston.
His 4th personal foul, team foul number 10.
Tucker will shoot a pair of free throws with 1:36 to play. 76-68 Panthers. And gets the roll. Chance to bring it to a double-digit lead once again. Alabama has no margin for error for the final 136. And they're going to need some help from Milwaukee, missing free throws.
One right there, just barely hitting the iron. Let's see if they go quickly, drive to the basket. If not, pull up. Whichever is open first.
9-point game. Under a minute and a half to go. Felix just hit a 3. Pump fake. Leaning 3. Got it! John Felix brings Alabama within 6.
Strategies will start to change right now.
Into the hands of Davis.
Yep, good decision there by Felix to foul right there. You have to start stopping the clock. A lot of people think, well, get this thing under a minute and then we'll stop the clock. No, use the clock as much as you can to your advantage. It's a good decision right there by Bama.
And Ronald Boo Davis, 82% shooter at the line. 1 out of 2 today. His game has progressed, and this is junior year. First one, knocks it down. 7-point Milwaukee lead. Alabama, a team that went to the Elite 8 1 year ago, in jeopardy of getting knocked out in the first round. Davis, 2 out of 2.
Knocking back 2. The strategy goes out the window, but you have to continue to do it as long as you possibly can to stop the clock if you're Alabama.
Felix, long 3. No. And rebounded by Steele. Puts it up and gets the roll.
Good smarts by Steele just then. You have to keep going back up with it. Watch for the Steele attempt and the foul.
And there is the foul. Tucker's going to shoot the free throws. 57.6 remaining and a 6-point game. Kennedy Winston just called on his 5th personal foul. So if Alabama needed offense down the stretch here from their junior leader, it's not going to happen. He's fouled out. 57.6 to go. Second half, Milwaukee leading Alabama 79-73. Number 12 seed in the Chicago region with a chance to get the upset victory. They came out of the gate on fire, pressing, shooting threes, and kept that intensity throughout the day. Alabama, we've seen some glimpses, but for the most part, they have not resembled the team that went to the regional finals last year.
Absolutely. We've seen 2 looks with the Panthers from Milwaukee, and we've seen them in the first half, like you said, going up and down, shooting the threes. Now in the second half with the big lead, we've seen more of a methodical type team, a team that's trying to win this at the free throw line. That opens a slight door. Bruce Pearl's team, so important to knock free throws back, but Alabama at the other end is hoping for a minimum of 1 out of 2 misses from this point on. Tucker, there's a pair.
And the door is open for Alabama in a 6-point game.
Right to the hoop. Smart.
Steal. Lost it. Off of Davis. Out of bounds. A wasted opportunity.
It sure was, but it was the right opportunity to try to force it into the paint area. They have to continue to do this. They're really stretching this game out pretty nicely.
Just over 50 seconds to go.
Well, no call from the officials.
Trying to foul, and now Shelton will pick it up on a reach-in. And that's number 4 on him.
So you go from Davis, an 82% free throw shooter. Tucker was the guy they fouled first at 73, so this is a win here for Milwaukee.
Chevrolet players of the game, Joa Tucker for Milwaukee, and Kennedy Winston, who was fouled out, 20 points from Alabama. Boo Davis just hit on a pair of free throws moments ago. 47.1 left on the clock. That first one rims in. Bruce Pearl, every bead of sweat.
You lose a little bit more weight when they rattle in and out like that if you're a coach.
Pearl in his 4th year at Milwaukee. And he hits both. Boo Davis. On timeout. 47.1 left. Milwaukee looking to hold on against Alabama.
Why do we work? Why do we get up every day and leave the people we love? At the Principal Financial Group, we know you work for more than just a paycheck. For 120 years, the Principal has helped people keep more of the money they make and do more with the money they save. You work hard. We make work hard for you. The Principal Financial Group. We understand what you're working for.
The last time the Milwaukee Panthers were in the NCAA tournament, 2003. First round loss to Notre Dame, 70-69. Bruce Pearl trying to get his first win as a head coach in the NCAA tournament. Last year, Mark Gottfried guided the Crimson Tide to a regional final and a loss to eventual champion UConn. Steele lost it, but he never had the ball over midcourt.
Nor was his body. 3 things have to go across.
Shelton loses the ball. And a foul called with 34.8, and Milwaukee can taste it. Gottfried shaking his head. Alabama survived in the first round last year in a tight one against Southern Illinois. It does not appear as if they're going to have it in the cards this year. 81-73. Tucker at the line. No good. 73% shooter. He had made pressure free throws in the Horizon League Championship victory over Detroit, a 1-point win. He's hit on 1 of his last 4.
Yeah, his stroke does not look good at the line.
And that one rims out. Felix with a rebound. Just over 30 seconds left. Alabama trying to work quickly. Got to go upstairs with it. Tight defense on the perimeter. Down to 25 seconds left. Pump fake. Felix can't hit the 3. Knocked upstairs. Tigers got it. Lead pass. McCants by himself. And he throws it down to seal it.
A convincing win for Milwaukee right here. The way they played both ends of the floor for this entire basketball game. A steady effort.
Shelton's 3. No. Knocked around with 8 seconds left. Tigers got it. And they'll dribble out the clock. An early bracket buster. Milwaukee gets the upset win over Alabama. 83-73. First tournament victory in Panthers history. Bruce Pearl, in his 4th year at the helm with Milwaukee, getting the W. And the number 12 seed has advanced over number 5, Alabama. They'll take on the winner of Boston College and Penn, which is coming up from Cleveland. UWM. A first-round win in the 2005 NCAA tournament. Panthers with a tremendous performance, start to finish. For Jim Smirnarko, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Cleveland, a 10-point win for Milwaukee over Alabama. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Ian, a tremendous performance indeed for the Panthers, a 10-point win over Alabama. Meanwhile, in Boise, 3:23 to play. Pacific with the lead over Pitt. Let's join Tim Brando and Mike Jaminski.
Big free throws for Doubly to extend the lead back to 7 with 3 and change remaining here in Boise in the Albuquerque bracket. Pittsburgh cut it to within 5. That's as close as they've been in the last 25 minutes of this game. Krauser using the glass.
They love to use that little screen roll action at the top of the key for Krauser to free him to get up into the lane.
Pittsburgh fans wanted a turnover, did not get it as Barakic got it into the front court. David Doubly operating at the point. Guillaume Yango, the star low post player with the ball right now, is playing with 4 fouls. Oracle. He has been the steadying influence for Pacific. 17 to lead his team today. Graves nearly palmed the ball.
Nearly.
Troutman in traffic against Yango. A near turnover. It's run down by Antonio Graves. There's the dump down to Taft. He's got a double-double today. Jump hook on the baseline over Yango. Timeout, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has scored on 6 of their last 7 trips, but it's been the Swedish assassin from downtown that's been the difference.
So, you hanging up the whistle, eh, Coach?
Yeah, kind of hard to believe.
So can a girl buy you dinner?
Coach, sorry, could you help me with something?
Sure.
This goes up there.
At Applebee's, we do our best to be part of the neighborhood.
The Tigers from the Big West, Pacific with a 6-point lead over Pittsburgh here in Boise, Idaho. Some outstanding matchups yet to come. Already one major party crasher in this NCAA tournament field, Wisconsin-Milwaukee. A very big win for them today against Alabama. Marker has numbers with Yango on the wing.
Yeah, I love that, Tim. There are a lot of teams that would have pulled that out and run clock, but Pacific very aggressive, getting the finish at the rim.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. 8th-seeded Pacific, 18-0 during the regular season in the Big West. Lost their conference tournament championship game to Utah State. Trying to rebound from that against Pittsburgh. Krauser, the jump stop and the deuce. This Tiger team took out Providence in the opening round a year ago. Marker to Yango. A little too strong. Count it, and a foul. Nice adjustment by Guillaume Yango when he didn't have the alley-oop slam.
Now, I don't agree with this decision. I don't think you throw an alley-oop on the run with the lead, but Yango really bailed out Moriker with a nice catch and finish. Tim, you know what? If Pitt can't come back in this game, they have to look no further than the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just been a completely different Panther team here. If they had brought the energy in the first 20 minutes, it would have been an interesting game. It turned out that way anyway.
They didn't defend the 3, Mike, in the first half the way they have in the second. Graves gets it into the lane. And you can really sense the anxiety now. Foul committed by Antonio Graves. Today's Chevrolet players of the game. Carl Krauser, what an important role he played in the second half. 19 of his 21 coming to lead Pittsburgh back into this game. And how about Mike Webb from Antelope Valley College in Lancaster, California? A career day for him at just the right time.
And it's, I never considered the 8-9 winner. There's no upset there. The 9 seed wins, but I think the country may be finding out a little bit about Pacific and what type of team they are.
And in the days that follow, they'll find out more about their coach. Bob Thomason, you ask him of the influences in his life. He's a 71 graduate from Pacific. And the head coach will tell you in a hurry that the most influential man in life and in basketball for him is his dad. Bob Sr., 80 years young, celebrated that birthday just after the conference tournament, and he's wearing the team colors.
Comes to practice, works with the guys. His players love having him around.
Krauser for three. Carl just won't let go. 75-68. They decide not to foul. Look for the turnover. And now they don't get it.
I like in their half court. I like the way Pacific has been very workmanlike against the full court pressure. It really hasn't bothered them that much.
1 minute remaining in regulation.
Doubly gets through the double team, and he's rejected by Taft. Saved by Jasko Karakic. Clock under 10. On the wing, Doubly. Ramon trying to keep it alive. Yango the rebound. He had not scored this entire half. He got 2 critical buckets within a 30-second span. And the time foul given by Pittsburgh, and they'll have to do it at the line now.
Well, Bob Thomason talked about rebounding and how important it would be in this game, and worried about the size and physicality of Pittsburgh up front, but they have out-rebounded Pitt in this game 34-30, Tim. Big stat.
And David Doubly, the senior from Oakland, California, an 89% free throw shooter on the year.